Grab a seat.
Thank you very much. So, Rhys, another thing that everybody always says about electric vehicles, they're too expensive, aren't they? They're far more expensive than petrol and diesel.
I think, yes, electric vehicles are expensive. Are they loads more expensive than the petrol or diesel or hybrid equivalent? I think that gap is definitely shrunk. Where you're best sort of to see that difference is manufacturers, not so much Nissan, because with Nissan believe that you shouldn't make an electric vehicle unless it's electric from the bottom up. So we will never have a full electric Qashqai or a full electric Duke.
Okay.
But the replacement to the Leaf may be a small version of an Harrier. It's all very undercover at the moment, we don't know. But everything's going that sort of way, SUV way. So Nissan are very different in that they believe they want to develop a car to be electric only. However, I know across the way at our Peugeot dealership, they make the 208 and the 208 petrol, diesel or electric, and they've done it so that people can just say, I like that car, I want this version of it.
Yep.
And if you look at models like that, I think that's where you will notice the difference. So yes, the electric vehicle is probably the most expensive of the three, but first of all, it's not as different as it used to be. And secondly, when you do sort of factor in the cheaper servicing and your cheaper running costs, especially if you're charging it at home, then for a lot of the time it does bring that down and not so much of a difference. And of course, residual values, electric cars, like anything, when they first came out, everybody was a bit unsure about what was going on and what would they carry on, and residual values weren't brilliant. But residual values now, they've been very strong in electric, whereas diesels that used to be very strong, of course, residuals we're seeing falling away rapidly. To answer your question, yes, they are more expensive, but I don't think they are as different now as they used to be.
It's all sounding very, very positive. Are you sure there's not something you're not letting on? What's wrong with EVs? Come on, there's got to be something wrong.
Well, do you know what? Everything has its positives and negatives, and if we sit here and say it's the best thing in the world and there's nothing, there's no disadvantages or anything like that, nobody's going to believe us. All of those watches are just not going to go up, are they?
No.
I think the biggest disadvantage, if that's the best way of putting it, to an EV is waiting for it to charge. And I think I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. My parents live 123 miles away from me, and I can drive there in a Leaf, if even the smaller battery, no problem, but I do have to then charge it on the way back, and that's going to add 30 minutes to my journey on the way home. Now, I don't see them every day, unfortunately, but, so it's not really a big issue for me. But you do have to bear in mind that if you are going on a longer journey, that you will have to stop for charges. Now, you can warrant some of that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to stop at a services, you're going to use the bathroom, you're going to get a drink, you're going to pay over the odds for chocolate bars and things like that, not giving too much away. You're going to do that anyway. So, to a certain extent, you're going to stop. And so some of that charging time you would have anyway if you were stopping in a petrol or diesel car. But there's no doubt that it's going to take you longer because you are going to wait for that charge. And if you are unlucky and you get there and you do have to wait for a charger, then obviously that is going to add on to the journey as well. Now, I can't say touch wood because I suppose this is wood somehow, but, I haven't really suffered with that. I think once on the way in from my parents, I had to go to a different charger because there was somebody waiting, which wasn't a big problem, but it's just something else to do. But I think if you're looking at disadvantages, yes, I suppose you could say they are still a little bit more expensive, but actually waiting to charge on a longer journey, it's still going to be something you need to sort of plan for.
Okay. Well, all in all, I think I'm won over. And of course, I've been playing the act that I've never seen an electric vehicle and don't know how they work, but I do actually drive one myself. I have done for 3 months and I'm loving the experience so far.
Your acting's not bad though,
Well, thank you very much. I've not been to drama school, but I'm working on it. But thank you so much for your time and your insights. It's been most useful to me and hopefully for everybody watching. Thank you very much, Rhys.
No problem.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Matt.
So there you have it, everything you need to know about electric vehicles. Thank you so much to Rhys Chalk for helping us out and explaining all the ins and outs of electric vehicles for us. But if you have any more questions, then feel free to comment below or get in touch with us at arbury.co.uk. Thanks so much for watching.